Welcome to the California Professional Land Surveyor Exam Series. I'm so glad you're here. California is a fun state to get licensed in, public land system, records of survey, all kinds of interesting stuff. And in this short video series, we are going to introduce you to all the new stuff NLC Prep has made for the California Professional Land Surveyor state-specific exam. To start with, let me just say that California is a very difficult state to get licensed in, exam-wise. Not experience-wise, not education-wise. Those are very basic, which is surprising. But the examination has something like a 10 or 15% pass rate. It's very small. And in fact, there was a lawsuit several years ago about the low passage rates. So let me introduce you to some of our materials. This is our practice exam, full-length practice exam. It's got the same number of questions, same type of questions, same look and feel. Next, we've got our statutes. And we had a funny story. One of our students who bought this called and said, "Hey, wait a minute, you sent us 2 statutes by mistake." No, we didn't. This is one set of statutes here. It takes 2 binders to fill them up. We'll talk about why that is in our next video, because the biggest change in years to the Professional Land Surveyor Exam California is the statutes. And then last but not least, all kinds of good stuff like the NSPS definitions, restoration of lost corners, Gordon Waddell's writing legal descriptions, a classic and very heavily tested sometimes on the exam. And then, of course, the BLM manual of 2009. All of this combines to make a system to help you pass your California Professional Land Surveyor exam. And that's because the exam is so unique among different states. Now, my plan for this series is to tell you about my experiences in this video, to talk about the changes in the PLS exam, about the statutes in the next video, and then discuss the content of the exam and what you should know when we talk about the practice exam. So I've got a lot of good topics on the agenda in these next few videos, so I hope you stick with us. Okay, so you've been introduced to all the new stuff. Let's talk about the exam. The Professional Land Surveyor Exam California is an open book exam. It's administered at a Prometric testing center in your state, which is amazing, which is so helpful, not having to travel to California. And it is an online exam in the Prometric, so it's a computer-based, I should say. But the grading does take some time, a few weeks typically, to come back with a result. But let's back up. Let's talk about my experience applying for, being accepted, and then taking the exam. So I applied for the exam in 2020, early in the year, and my application was submitted, so I sent in the references, the experience, the basic information, all that stuff. And the thing that surprises me, number one, is when you submit this online, I never got a confirmation saying, "Hey, we've received your materials." It was just like, okay, submitted into the black hole. I hope they got it. So about a month later, the board got in contact with me and said, "We want to know some more about your experience. We want to know some more about your references. We haven't received a few references yet." Okay, so we did this back and forth follow-up of 20 emails, believe it or not, getting all of this information together. And it took about 7 or 8 months to get the application complete. All right, so your application is complete. What do you do next? Just like Wyoming and some other states, the California exam has really 2 examinations. One is a take-home exam, which you do yourself, and it's multiple choice. and the other is the in-person exam. So you do the take-home examination, you get a passing score, then you go take your in-person exam. Now, the take-home exam is basically going to be comprised of the acts and rules and different laws in California. So the statutes are your primary resource for the take-home exam. Now, I've got a little criticism because I thought some of the questions in the take-home exam were poorly worded. So I sent the board a letter with my concerns about the take-home exam, so I submitted it, got a passing score, and then I submitted my concerns. And the board responded with basically, we can't compromise the integrity of the exam by discussing your issues. That's fine. But I wish they would have modified the exam to fix a few of the typos and to make the questions more clear, because there was a couple questions about an outdated law. There were a couple questions that were ambiguous to the point of not being able to choose an answer. So the California board can be difficult to work with sometimes. Just have a heads up. All right. So I got my application approved. I took the take-home exam, passed it, and then I decided to sign up for the real exam. Now, this is where California really shines. This is a Prometric testing center in your hometown or around your hometown, and it's a computer-based exam. So Prometric, very standard. Go in there, sign up, take your exam, go home, easy. I hate traveling to different states for the exams. I think it's a waste of time. So then it takes a few weeks or a month to get your exam results back. They do give you a diagnostic if you do not pass, but the diagnostic is limited, we'll say. So now that you know the basics of application, take-home, real exam results, let's move on to some of our materials here in our next video about the statutes. And if you've got questions about the California exam, post them below and we'll be glad to answer your questions.
If you found this video helpful and informative, I would appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button to like the video and then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way, more people can find this video and it can help them. Plus, when you hit the subscribe button, you'll be able to watch the newest NLC videos as soon as they come out.